What's up, everybody? Welcome back to our 4th episode of the Sew Yeah Show. I'm Brody.
I'm Tienko.
I'm Zach.
We're the Sew Yeah brothers here in Las Vegas, and we have an awesome show planned for you today. In our show, we have 4 regular segments. We have Will It Sew? We have Words with Zach, Tips with T, and finally, the Dad Challenge.
Before we go any further, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and please share these videos with your friends. We appreciate it so much, and it really does help us out.
On top of that, down in the description below, we have additional links to all of our social media platforms, other episodes of the Sew Yeah Show, and how you enter our giveaways. Now, we've also, every single episode, read all the comments, and you guys had some awesome comments on our next Will It Sew episode. So let's take a shot and see what happens.
What's up, everybody? We are out here in beautiful southern Utah. A little bit of cold, a little bit of snow to see Will It Sew?
With a bullet hole.
Let's go. Boom!
Wow. I knew that was coming.
All right, everybody. We have got our gun set up, we've got our safety gear, and our machine set up down range. So before we take this shot, we are going to do a brief explanation on caliber.
All right, everybody. So we're going to talk about the anatomy of a round of ammunition and different types of ammunitions here. So this right here is a 22. This would be basically the first shell that or type of gun that a dad would get for their boy if they're going to practice, hunting or getting ready to go hunting. Very small round, and I'm going to grab another one here just so you can see and it's easier to explain. This would be like a pistol round, but it's a kind of a self-defense round. So this is for a 380. This is what a lot of people carry when they do a concealed carry or things like that. But let's show you how this works. So right here we have our primer. So basically it goes inside of your weapon. The primer hits the firing pin hits this, and it explodes the gunpowder that's inside of the cartridge here. And what actually leaves the cartridge, what actually shoots or actually hits the target, is this part right here, which is your actual bullet. So this right here is a 380. I'm just going to show you a couple different kind of size comparisons. Next one up, this right here is a 9mm. So this is what pretty much every law enforcement officer uses, is a 9mm. Also a very, very common practice and target shooting round. From there, we go to a much bigger round. This is the next step up here. This is a 45 auto. So this right here would be a very large self-defense gun. They also use these in some law enforcement agencies. You'll see this more with like sheriffs and things like that. But you can see the size difference of the gunpowder or the diameter of the round. Next from there, we go to a little more specialty one. This is more of a kind of a hobbyist round. This is called a 38 Special. Also used for a handgun. They make some rifles that take that, but not usually. Next up here, this is a 44 auto. So this is also another popular self-defense round that people use. The tip of this you can see is different, which is used to expand if it were to hit someone in self-defense. From there we go to more rifle rounds. So rifle rounds, you can see they're shaped a little bit differently. They're usually longer, thinner, and with a longer, more aerodynamic bullet that actually leaves the gun. So this right here is a 7.62. Again, very common round. They use this in the military a lot as well, along with the next one, which is a 223. This one is a very common hunting round, as well as used in the military. Much smaller profile, made for a lot more accuracy. Very small, fine point that comes out, flies straight, and flies fast. What we're going to be using today, this right here, is a 308 round. This is on the higher end of your hunting, so this would be for larger game, elk, buffalo. You could even use it for deer. But this right here, along with the 30-06, that's the round that you're kind of looking at. That's what we're going to be using today. So we want to make sure we get it out there, we get a good punch through the machine, and we get the velocity that we need. Hence, we're using the bigger bullet.
Range is hot.
wood out of the way. We're gonna need everything off of here.
That'll do it.
Well, I think you might be sharp on the back. Ouch. Yeah, this is impressive. Come look on the back side of this thing. So, my little assessment of will it sew. This is gonna be
This is gonna be rough.
well, it looks like we've dislocated everything. So I think the best thing that we can do here
There's a screw right here. I don't think that's supposed to be there.
is if I take this like this,
Just break it off.
I think it's gonna be better.
There's the screw I was talking
Oh,
about.
yeah.
Here, this will fix it. Okay, it's ready. No.
Oh, it's coming back to life. Yeah, let's see it.
Bullet.
Trajectory.
We were trying to hit it right here, just to have a little marker on the machine. And Zach hit it right here, which, you know, that's within a quarter. I'm calling that a 100% shot. Entered here, obviously exited here, bent this out of place, out of shape, blew the back off, and this screw came out of somewhere.
Okay, first thing, I'm gonna open this thing up, and I've got a bobbin case here, just in case when everything blew up, I didn't want it to be gone with it. Oh, this is the dirt edition, which is great.
Hear the dirt, literally.
You hear it?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna close this up if it closes. I'm gonna pull up. Ooh, geez. There we go. Needle is shot. We'll get a new one of those. Now, it looks like my left and right is gone too on my zigzag. But, just so everyone knows, I hooked this up to an external battery port. That way we can do it out here when, my closest electricity port's about 200 miles away. So, let me get the battery out. Some fabric out. Oh, don't forget Orifil thread. Hopefully this will fix it. Ooh, and even this is tangled up. There we go. So this needs to be threaded without any way to thread it. Zachary, we need you to be the hook here. Hook. Just like, thank you.
New needle.
Let's put that bad boy in there. Boy, why don't you drop that bag down there? There we go. Now, hypothetically speaking here, got new needle, new bobbin. That's all this machine actually needs. Just kidding.
And it's for sale.
This one's on a really good discount right now. I'm not sure if anyone knew that. One thing though is we are missing a piece on the back, which Zachary's going to be that piece for us. We're missing the hook of the back. Oh, and this might have life. All right, Brody, let's see if this thing shows.
Oh boy!
Is it going? Go for it.
It's on.
It's on? All right, do what we need. We're gonna need more juice. I'm gonna go get some more juice here.
It doesn't need more power, that's it. I don't know what he's going to get, but I'm calling drill battery. That seems to make
do it.
That seems to work.
I could do it.
There we go.
Spit. I'm gonna come around here and spit the dirt out of the
Stop. A little bit more. Is the hair more?
Hold on. I'm working with the. Here we go.
Round 2, guys. I had tweaked the bobbin case a little bit, put a new bobbin in it. That should make this sucker sew.
Maybe I come up.
Stop. Okay.
Oh boy!
It's a 3-man job.
But Tianka, will it sew?
That looks like that puppy will sew. Let's just cut this real quick. Make sure. I'm gonna lay this puppy down.
That's a little more than that, 1/4 inch.
Thank you. Half square triangle.
So cool.
That is awesome.
That's what I'm talking about. So guys, this is super cool, but I think we can do it bigger. So
What's bigger?
Let's shoot this with the 50 cal and go inside and explain first of all what that looks like, and then hit it with a 50 cal. Let's go. Well, that didn't work. So we're going to take it up into the next level, and instead of taking it up to the next level, so this right here would kind of be the next level round. This is a Winchester Mag, a 300, which as you can see, also substantially bigger. Each one of these is measured by grains, so a lot more grains worth of gunpowder in here. That would be the next step. But you know what? If this didn't do it, that probably wouldn't make the impression that we want to make. So we're just going to take it to the very next level, and we're going to use a 50 caliber BMG. This right here is the bullet of all bullets. You can see the size difference in the actual round that's coming off of here, and the size difference in the gunpowder and even the primer that is going to be used for this next, I want to say for this next trick. But we're going to try this next here, and again, you can see the size difference. This is what they use in the military as far as long distance. All world record long distance shots are made with this. You have people that can shoot over a mile long with this round. Sniper rifles in the military, anything like that, this is what they use. So you can see how gradually we've gone up to this right here, and that's what we're using today.
Now that you know what a 50 cal is, in reference to the other gun, this is all you ready. We'll get out of the way.
Good luck.
Let's do it. For the record, I don't think it's gonna live.
Right in the hole. Woo! Oh boy, let's see here.
Where did you hit it? Did you just
Right there.
Oh, jeez.
This is where it came out. So it went through right here. Came out right here, and that back piece is usually on. Right there, blew the whole thing off. I don't know where that went. Here's a piece of it, I think. Yeah, this is the back bottom portion. I don't know where the rest of it went.
First item of business is we gotta get the tension off of this. I gotta take the back off. So the back plastic is putting too much pressure on the main drive. So that has to come off first thing first. Fun little fact for everyone that's at home, it's out of time. Just a hair. We gotta put that back together too. These are a lot easier to take apart this way, just to let you know.
And there's no back on it?
Yeah, nothing. There's nothing there. Now, oh, that piece doesn't matter because it's not there. So you're about to see the inner workings of a machine. Well, pieces of the inner workings of a machine, better said. Okay.
This right here is the motor, which is totally intact. This
Keep that. Good memorabilia.
is the belt right here.
Check out the blast marks inside of this.
I cannot believe that this is still rotating.
Oh yeah, we're still alive.
Motor's still intact. Bottom shaft here seems like it's gonna be okay.
You're gonna see all the disaster here now. Came off nice and smooth. I think the best way to time this is gonna be going from this direction.
So you'll see here, since the belt's not on, this is the top shaft, which is moving the needle bar up and down. This is the bottom shaft, which is connected to your bobbin case and your hook. So these have to be connected here to get us the rotation that we're looking for.
So here's the verdict with the machine. Will it sew? Most likely. However, both the upper main shaft and the lower main shaft seem to be okay. But what we're going to do is run this down to Vegas, put brand new belts because the belts are very specific to the machine, and we'll see if it will sew then. What's up, everybody? We are back home here in the shop in the tech department to see if this machine will sew. Technically, I think we just need a new belt, which I have right here. So I'm going to slap this on there and let's see if it will sew. So first I'm going to take off all the plastics and show everyone the damages that have happened to this machine. That way you can see what the fix is. So luckily, since we shot it, all the plastics are essentially blown off. So I'm going to pull off the back here. My back pieces. That's more back. That's more of the back. And hopefully the front plate will pull off, which it does. Which leaves us with a really dirty, broken machine. So if you look right here on the back end, I'll turn it. We've got our first belt. It's okay, it still runs, which has essentially kept this machine in pretty good time. We'll have to adjust the timing, but we're missing this belt, which just goes like this. Should be a pretty simple put that together, and now you can see that the machine's turning. So this is a pretty simple mechanics here. So let me just double check the timing on this to hopefully keep this in place and good. So the timing looks okay. It might just actually work. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'll just double check timing, and then if I need to make any adjustments, I just have to move this hook over left to right a little bit, and then we'll try out for the first sew out and see if that will work. So let me just do that real quick. I'm going to put the front panels back on, and we'll be right there. So now that I know it's in time, I double checked, got my belts on, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to turn the machine around here. I guess we won't need the bobbin case door. That's okay. I'm going to take some thread, and we're going to thread this thing really quickly, if it'll let me. The needle threader's gone. Gotta do this the old-fashioned way. Okay, now moment of truth to see if it picks up the bobbin thread here. Oh, it looks like we have a little bit of life. So now it's time to see if this thing is going to sew for us. I'm going to line it up real good, try to get my half square triangle down. So I've got this nailed down. We're going to try this now. It definitely doesn't sound awesome, but it looks like it's working. It sounds really bad. So let's see if we can't get this off of here. Turn the knot hand wheel that's there. I'm gonna cut it with my scissors. Now, it's an okay stitch there. It's not horrible. Let's just see how our half square triangle looks. So, will it sew? Absolutely. It's a little bit noisy, but let's send this right back over to my brothers at the other set.
Boom, guys. Honestly, at the beginning, I didn't think that was going to sew.
I thought round one, it's not that big of a caliber. I thought it was going to work, you know.
But definitely the second shot, I was like, And then on top of that, right before I take the shot, Tankum's like, so we have an orange dot on there. He's like, try to hit the orange dot. But like, if anything, he said, don't shoot down like to the lower right, because that's where like the motor is. You can really screw things up down there. And in my mind, I heard, all right, bottom right. If anything, hit bottom right. So whatever. That's that.
Hence having a little bit of rebuild there to try to get that thing to work. But in the end, will it sew? Absolutely.
Boom, it'll sew.
All right, everybody, let's move to our next segment where you're going to get some words of advice from your very own personal professional.
obsession is something that a lot of people have difficulties with. Given the sensitive nature of the topic, I want to discuss it using the example of golf, which is the dumbest sport of all time. So, let's take little Reginald. Reginald goes and plays a few rounds of golf with his friends. He plays on the weekends, he putts around, he has a nice time, and no harm, no foul. I know it's not baseball, there's not fouls, just move on. So, that's all well and good. However, if Reginald starts to skip work, for example, to go play golf, he's going to run into some problems. When someone comes into my office with a difficulty like this, I try and offer them the support that we need, because really, we all need someone to lean on. Welcome back. I understand you've been having some struggles. Can you please elaborate them for me?
Yes, so I just keep feeling like I can't not watch, and I need to get more, and that I like everything about it. Everything. All of it.
Okay. When specifically?
When?
Is there a time frame or a...
All the time. Day, night, evenings, Tuesdays, Saturdays, all the time.
Okay. And what's causing you the most conflict?
I don't think there is conflict. I mean, I like everything about it. I like how it smells. I like how they feel. I like what they look like. I like the colors. I like the prints.
If I could stop you for a second, the colors and the prints?
Yes, I like bright colors, dull colors, all the colors, every color. I like it cut up. I like it in rolls.
Okay, I'm sorry. The colors of what? And you like it cut up? What is being cut?
Of the fabric. All the fabric.
The fabric. I understand. What you've just described is something that I am actually not trained in. However, I do have a referral for you. If you will contact these good gentlemen, they'll be able to help you out.
Since we're on the topic of obsession, something I'm obsessed with is shameless plugs here. If you haven't checked out our Instagram, check it out. Sew Yeah Brothers. This is where you see more of the behind the scenes of what we do on a day-to-day basis.
So we have Sew Yeah Quilting on Instagram and Facebook. We obviously our YouTube channel, which you're on it. And then also, like Jacob said, Sew Yeah Brothers. Check out that handle. A lot of fun.
Then going from there, it's time to get tips from your host, T. Or something like that.
How are you our host?
Because I just said it right there.
What about us? What are we, just like the stooges that sit on the screen with you?
Yeah, we're the sidekicks.
The sidekicks, with your host and the sidekicks.
What's up, everybody? We are back here, Tips with T, and we're going to learn a little bit today about the invention of the sewing machine. Now, we need to talk a little bit about why the sewing machine is still, to this day, one of the greatest inventions of modern time. First, let's just talk about our day-to-day routine. We're going to wake up in bed, on our couch, or let's say on our carpeted floor. Every aspect of this revolved around a sewing machine. Your bedspreads are sewn, carpet edges are sewn, and even couches are sewn together. From there, let's say we shower, we get ready for the day, and we put on all our clothes, obviously sewn. Then we need to get to work, and whatever form of transportation we take involves around a sewing machine. For instance, let's say we're walking to work. Shoes are actually sewn. Let's say we take a bus, a tram, a airplane. Every form of seats are sewn, or there are holding straps that are sewn. Then we finally make it to work, and we put on our gloves, we sit in our office chair, or we have a uniform that we put on, all sewn. And we can go on and on and on about this, but you can see how every aspect of our life revolves around the sewing machine. But how did it all start? In 1755, Charles Weisenthal was issued the very first patent for a needle to go into a sewing machine. Now, obviously the machines were starting to be created, the idea had formed, and he had patented just the needle. Going on from there, in 1790, Thomas Saint designed the very first sewing machine. However, it was never produced, at least as far as we know. And his design work was left untouched until 1874, when William Newton Wilson proved the concept. However, Thomas Saint will not get any credit for really anything because other people had designed and started producing machines by then. However, this is the very first detailed design that we have of the first sewing machine. Moving throughout time, from 1790 to 1830, many machines were produced. However, none of them quite worked. They could prove concept or they could lay down a couple of stitches. However, they were not manufacturable and they had their quirks. In 1830, this man built the very first sewing machine that worked. And along with that, he built the very first sewing machine manufacturing plant of clothing. He was a French tailor who specialized in making the French uniform for the army. However, neighboring tailors, or his competition, were envious, for lack of better words, of his invention. So in 1830, they broke down the doors, destroyed the machines, and burned his building to the ground to ensure their livelihoods. 15 years later, down the road, in 1845, Elias Howe invented a new form of sewing machine. Prior to this, the chain stitch machine was the only thing around. Elias Howe invented the bullet bobbin system, or the shuttle system, or even, has many names, the lock stitch system, which essentially had thread on top and a shuttle bobbin on bottom, making it a two-part system, which he was able to patent. But due to the situations that he was currently in, he was not able to produce this machine here in America, and he moved on to England to see if it was more producible there. After several years in England, he had returned back to America and was shocked to find out others had copied his system, namely Isaac Singer. Now it's 1851, 6 years after Elias Howe has patented his design. Isaac Singer's company is now blooming and thriving. He has become the, essentially, inventor of the modern day sewing machine, manufacturing it and producing and selling this product. And through his 6 years, Isaac Singer was able to take out some parts, add some new parts to make it a much more user-friendly system. However, when Elias Howe got back, seeing that his patent has been infringed, he took Isaac Singer to court. Before we get into the lawsuit, just something to remember here is the invention of the sewing machine, it was not an easy journey. It got burned down, the machines didn't work properly, and finally that they've made the machine that could actually work, lawsuits start happening. So, why was Isaac Singer being sued? His patent and Elias Howe's patent were almost identical, however, 6 years apart. Elias Howe was the inventor of that system, and he had the patent to prove it. Ultimately, Isaac Singer lost the lawsuit, which he had to then pay royalties based off that system to Elias Howe for the rest of their lives. Sounds like a sad story for Isaac Singer, however, they both died millionaires due to this patent. Obviously, in this situation, it's hard to tell who got the better end of the deal. Elias Howe never had to produce a sewing machine, and he was then accredited for the invention of the machine. However, the Singer Company is still in operation today. Although it's gone through different ownerships over the last couple of years, it is still one of the most recognized brands out there. But Singer is not the only brand out there, especially today in modern days. We here at Sew Yeah Quilting sell Berninas, Eversones, Brothers, Genomes, and Handy Quilter machines. However, there are plenty more machines out there, like Viking, Singer, Pfaff, and that's not even half of them. And if we want to get into the industrial world, I can keep listing on brands and brands of machines. But that is enough talk about the history of the sewing machine. As some of you are well aware of, we are giving away a vintage, custom painted Singer Featherweight. And we're going to announce the winner right now. Drum roll.
And the winner is Michelle Myers from Washington.
One last thing, it's a friendly reminder. If anyone's looking for a starter machine or an upgrade machine, long arms, 10 needle sergers, you name it, go ahead and give us a call so we can make sure you get the perfect machine for you. Now I'm going to jump back on set with my brothers to continue the show.
Thanks to Yankum for the tips.
You're welcome.
It's amazing to think that we've gone from, bone needle and sinew thread up to multi-needle machines that can do embroidery or sew a mattress or pretty much any of the things that we come in contact with every single day. Yeah, for sure.
You name it. A sewing machine can pretty much do it at this point.
So enough about sewing machines. Let's jump right into the Dad Challenge.
That's what people like to see.
It's so funny.
Being 25 means you're five times. Hey everyone, we're here for our Dad Challenge today. We're at my wood shop. I've got a couple of explanations to give to the boys before they go in. It's going to be a little different than a normal challenge that we do with in the past, but come and join us inside. All right, boys, this is the challenge for today. You're all going to make a quilt block. Only it's going to be made out of wood. This is what size it needs to be. It needs to be attached to this board. It's a 12 by 12 square. You can use whatever wood is in the shop. We've got anything from black walnut to zebra wood to reds, blues, whatever colors you want. We've got stain, glues, saws. You guys know everything that's in the shop. Your mom's going to come after we get done. You get 1 hour to build it. And at 1 hour, Mom's gonna come and judge it on your creativity, your difficulty, and accuracy of your cuts.
I got it from the back.
So let's get started.
Okay, so just to clarify, it has to be adhered to this piece of wood, it has to be made out of wood, and it has to be a quilt block. It can be 3D, it can be anything.
It can be whatever you want it to be, but it's going to be judged on accuracy, creativity, and difficulty. So if you want to get one block and glue it on there, you'll probably get ones on difficulty, creativity. Are you ready? Set, go!
All right.
But I think about this smart here. Creativity is one of the key elements of this. So, got it.
Well, if Yankum's talking and explaining what he's doing, I'm just gonna make a quilt block. And you'll see what I'm doing afterwards.
Need something that's stainable, that's got a good finish on it. We're gonna use this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the shine off this so I know I can get some good.
So my mom likes dark colors. So I'm gonna start off with the base being dark. Then we're gonna put a different colored wood on top. And we get the two-tone look. Then we're going to actually cut out the word quilt block and put it on top.
now that's done, I can think for a second what it is I'm gonna do. I want to get that finished. I want to get that glued and drying while I'm thinking about the next step.
Just practicing so I can show them how to wipe the tears out of their eyes when I win. So I'm gonna clean everything up real clean, and then I'm gonna get it round here. So, it's gonna be a drunkard's path. Really hard to make. Pretty dang close, let me tell you. Luckily, my siblings suck at math. This is a pretty easy challenge.
A while back, I was working on a different project. It's a personal project. I was learning. Oh, wow, really? And I was learning how to make cups, or like segmented glasses. This is just a pencil holder. So I'm gonna hopefully be able to replicate some of this on the face of my quilt wall. Maybe we'll change things up a little bit. For anybody that's like rooting for me, like, Mom, thank you. This is not gonna be my best work, but we're gonna get the job done.
It's about to be.
Making things up on the fly is always fun. Right. Alright. Useless. For the dub, I'm telling you. We're taking the win, just to let everyone know.
Is the block gonna be moved?
The block gonna be moved. You hear this guy? Thank you. 15 minutes. Boom, 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 boom.
There's crap all over the table.
Make sure they line up pretty good here, pretty decent.
I'm gonna make a certificate of authenticity. Boom, baby.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. Let's bring them over, put them on the table.
Trying to get my iPad. I know what it's called.
I want to go for a little drunkard's bath here. Harder block to achieve. This is a hot mess. That's what we're calling this one.
I'm calling this American wood piecing. It's kind of like English paper piecing, but with wood.
This is called arts and crafts.
This is called the wind.
If you were maybe 5, or in like arts and crafts, and you still painted on with, you know, finger painting, I guess.
It's not what the certificate of authenticity says from Mr. Singer himself.
You know he's dead, right?
You know, that's how long this quilt has been in order.
All I know is if she picks this one,
She's gonna pick this. I'm calling it.
if
She's picking this.
she picks this one, we all know because, you know, last couple weeks hasn't been so hot. It's okay.
Everybody stand back so she doesn't know who's.
Mom might have to give the dub to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Here comes our judge.
Hi.
How's it going?
Family, wow.
I told you about the challenge. You're here to judge each one of these quilt blocks on accuracy, difficulty, and creativity. Okay, let's start with this one.
Okay.
Accuracy, 1 to 5. 5 being the best, 1 being
I would just
loser.
double check everything. That's all I gotta say.
I think we should can I double check everything?
You don't listen to Brody is all you need to do.
Okay, accuracy, difficulty, and creativity. Okay, I like this one because of the different colors of stain that they've used. I like the design. It's not exactly lined up here or here, but it's a good. Okay, a little bit difficult, I think, because of the round cuts. Not overly creative because my first quilt block that I did I learned this on, so I know Eleanor Burns does that on my first quilt block. Okay, this one, this is creative because it looks nothing like a quilt block, and this person did follow the directions, and it says quilt block. They built a quilt block, so yeah. Okay.
You might want to read the.
It also has a certificate of authenticity.
A certificate of authenticity.
Everyone will say that.
Abstract 3D quilt block, 2021 wood quilt block, exactly 12 by 12 with zebra and purple heart. Okay.
Keep reading.
Is an original design by Soya Brother.
So we couldn't say who it was, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That would be cheating.
That loves mom the most. All copyrights and reproduction rights are reserved for Sew Yeah Quilting. Okay.
Who signed it?
The artist.
No.
International Quilt Board,
Who's the signer?
Mr. Singer himself.
Just wondering. The Mr. Singer.
Who
Been dead for
hey,
100
we
years.
need to practice our spelling. Okay. Wow. Okay, this one, it's got lots of different colors. Its difficulty is difficult. It wasn't planed, which I kind of think it should have been.
Or do
But
we need the
it's
seams lined up?
Or what?
Or the seams where you put it
And it's hanging
together.
over on all sides. Just have to point that out.
It's not hanging over, it is a little bit there.
If you look
It's
from
not
this
here.
angle, you can see the other side of the table.
It wasn't planed, it needed to be planed. Let's see. These all line up, that's good. Those line up, that's good. This, not exactly sure what we were going for there. They don't line up really with anything. Okay.
All right.
There we go.
Accuracy on this one.
Accuracy, a 3. It's kind of-
Difficulty.
a 3.
Creativity.
A 3.
Total of 9.
Okay.
Accuracy.
The letters were cut out pretty good. Accuracy. I don't know. It followed the rules. Accuracy a 3.
Did anything out of that one just have to say fall
Difficulty?
out of the accuracy? Is there anything that's not accurate?
Difficulty.
Half square triangle not together.
Yeah.
Abstract 3D, so I gotta say.
Difficulty. Those letters might have been a little hard to cut out. Difficulty, maybe a 2. Sorry, Brode, I think that one's got to go to you. But creativity, I'd have to give it a 5. Just because who would have thought of that other than Brody? Who knew he would be lacking in the other skills, in the other things. And so
Gotta play to your strengths.
it's pretty good. You do have to play your strengths. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Accuracy, I would say at least a 3.
Difficulty.
Difficulty, I would say a 5. Creativity, I would say maybe a 4. Yes.
I want to dispute one thing. Can I just say it?
Okay, yes.
I want to know the middle one. What
It's-
is not accurate about that?
It's
I want to know out of
Accuracy,
all the threes,
12-inch quilt block
It is
out of wood.
12 inch.
Nothing hangs over.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Everything is 100% accurate as far as a wood quilt.
It's all different heights. Nothing lines up.
3D.
It depends on if you.
You know what?
All the letters are the same
I
height.
have to say, I'm really impressed, Brode.
I'm just saying a 3?
Really,
However, you can't take your knowledge of the competitor and add his handicap to it.
No. I'm just saying a 3 for accuracy. Tell me what the 2 points were deducted for.
I'm really
Okay.
impressed that
Now I gotta say.
I'm really impressed that
You know what,
did
Brody?
this.
I mean, difficulty, creativity,
You
I'm
know
okay
what?
with, but, like,
I'll tell you
tell me
what.
the 2 points that it was-
Accuracy, I'll give you a 5.
And I still lose. Just saying. I want to know what the points came away
Say that
from.
one more time.
Just saying. And I have to push in there that a 3 for accuracy on Zach's when everything hangs over and nothing matches and it's not plain.
No, this is all accurate here. This is what I'm not giving him accuracy for.
What about this?
What's the gap that's big enough to fit a freaking?
And a wood chip.
Well, I think that he did that on purpose.
Oh my gosh. Favorite son. Again.
The only thing I like to dispute
All right,
is
I'll go back.
there's only one quilt block on the table.
If you give that a 5, that turns out to a 12, so you're probably looking at the total.
I understand that.
Just saying.
You know what, Tiancum?
Saying.
I really like yours. I do. It falls into a
Accuracy
quilt
and
block.
difficulty. You know the world's hardest shape to draw.
A
circle.
A circle. The
You drew it, but it's a template
difficulty.
and it's a circle, so I'm gonna have to say that's not that hard.
No, it would be okay, Ray. We can give Tiancum a 5 here
Doesn't matter.
on
Zach still
difficulty,
wins.
Zach still
but
wins.
Zach would still win.
Unless you're going to bring my score down.
I think we should bring it down at least 1 point.
I think you can go through all this again.
Okay, Zach's got a gap. We'll have to give him a.
You.
She's already done it.
I think
You're
Zach,
done.
I
You
think
can't let
this
them
one
manipulate
wins.
you.
They do all the time.
I know.
Well,
Ready to get the belt?
nobody cares. No one cares. Get that in. No one cares. No one cares. All right, guys, this episode is over. We'll see you guys later.
I'd like to, thank all my fans, Mom.
Let's just get right to this cut and dry. This right here is called a drunkard's path quilt block. In my opinion, neither one of my siblings had quilt blocks. This is a quilt block. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to be a sore loser, and I'm not, okay? But if we're going against the qualifications of this is perfectly 12 inches. All the letters, I don't know if you can see that, are perfectly the same height. 4 different woods, stained, I don't know, 3 or 4 times.
I mean, hey, what can I say? It's good to be king.
When Ray told me about this challenge, I definitely thought Zach would have a advantage. I didn't see any of the blocks before walking into the shop, but knew exactly which ones were whose just from knowing the boys.
You know, I really think it played onto the whole Zach always loses thing, but you know, we'll give it to him. Till next round. Don't worry, guys. This should have been number 1. Don't worry. I'll be next round.
But that's all right. Zach deserves a win every once in a while. I really thought Zach was going to win this from the beginning. Don't tell him I said that, because he is the most creative as far as these kinds of things go. But you know what? That's all right. He can have the belt for a minute. I'm going to hang this in my room. I'm out.
Zach's had a lot more work in it than the other ones did, even though he wasn't able to plane his at the end. If Zach had had time to plane the top of his wood block, it would have been absolutely smooth with all the cracks filled in.
So I'm highly unimpressed with you as a judge. As a mom, you're all right, but a judge, you kind of suck. Just saying.
Down in the comment section, tell us who actually won.
Let us know who you think actually won.
That's fine.
Who's had the belt for the longest time. Just saying.
Who's sucked for the longest time?
Miraculous comeback, apparently. All right, well,
Just be grateful Dad wasn't part of this.
it's true. Very true.
Yeah.
True.
All right, well,
Dad would have won for sure.
Back to the shop.
Well, that was unexpected.
Mama's favorite. You have anything to say about this?
No. It's okay. It's okay.
Well,
All I have to say is, cheaters never prosper.
all I have to say
That's a
is,
proverb.
well, maybe learn to use a power saw, and one day you can have one of these, like me.
Maybe you should learn how to buckle your belt.
Are you supposed to buckle this thing behind?
He wouldn't know. He's never had it
You've
before.
never had it before.
Well, to be honest, so when we started that, we're going to get real here. When we started that challenge, I was like,
That's incredibly uncomfortable.
crap. This is, I'm all right with the tools, but I was like, I got to go to a different, dimension to be able to try to win this. I knew that Zach was going to come out with something like what he came out with.
I'm the one that made a quilt block. Let's just. be
Jacob's
real,
still
but
sour.
I'm
It
not
was a good-
salty.
I-
I'm not salty.
I mean,
It was a win. I'll call it a win.
yes, mine wasn't finished, but for anyone who knows woodworking, it would have taken one pass through the planer, and it would have been done. So,
Something called time
It's
management.
like when you're talking to an astronaut. And like, for anybody that doesn't know anything about space travel, it's like, well, he can just say whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, that's pretty much
That's
it.
anticlimactic.
I kind of an anticlimactic ending to our show, but
I think it's very climactic. I think it's great.
all right, everybody. Well, that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining us in our show. As always, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, share that channel with your friends, text it to them, Instagram it to them, Facebook to them, all of
9
that,
yards there.
everything.
For sure.
Guys,
Comment. Let us know what you want to see.
Let us know you really
what
think you should have won.
yeah, oh yeah, it's even better. Let us
Wow.
know who you think should have actually won the challenge.
Wow. Yes, please do.
Please
do.
But and also, it's seriously though, guys. Comment down below. Let us know what you want to see on the channel. Let us know what you want to see the next dad challenge to be. What you want to see. Will it sew or even tips with T or his words with Zach. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know how we can help you in your sewing experience. And I think that's pretty much it. I think we're out of here.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate you guys.